So this piece is about a few different things. It's not about a few different things, but it intersects in two ways. One, so I'm in Old Car's creative writing class along with Josh Chapman, and for an assignment we were supposed to write a poem where the theme is the two epigraphs, the two quotes in the beginning, and it's also about the intersection of man and insect, I guess, or man and arthropod, maybe. Worms are arthropods, I think. All right. So the first quote goes as follows: breasts like earthworms, a huge pillar of a neck, overtopped by a pasty white moon of a face, in which blinked eyes so large and so dark that they seemed to be bottomless tarns. Her hair was a beautiful rich brown, and it piled atop her head in a haphazard lunatic sprawl, held by a hairpin big enough to be a meat skewer. She wore a dress that seemed to be made of burlap, arms that held hemnals were slabs. Her skin was creamy, unmarked, lovely. He thought that she must top 300 pounds. He felt a sudden red lust for her that made him feel shaky, and he turned his head and looked away. The Dark Tower, Book 1 by Stephen King. And the other quote goes as follows. As much as they'll never understand us or our fetishes, so too will we never give up on them. Nana Tokoru by Azume Ryuda. And the poem is called The Beauty of the World. In the middle of my room lies a little pile of worms. They've been feasting upon Cheez-Its and tissues covered in sperms. I stare at them and wonder if they'll make me sick with germs, as I've heard that they can spread things, which I hope no one confirms. As they twist within the gloom, in the twilight of my room, which is not unlike a womb or a damp and smelly tomb, I spy on my little puddle, a muddle cruddle duddle, a pile of little worms with bodies fat and firms. They look like they are singing, all cuddled and befuddled, all bodies fat and firms. I look at my small orgy, at my math of writhing worms, and wonder if they're listening to my hopes and my concerns. For I worry that these fellows, living off Cheez-Its and sperms, my tiny mass of fleshy flesh that wriggles unconcerned, I ponder if they like to screw. I know they have no gender, so I really have to wonder how their intercourse does render. Is it quick and gross and dirty, like a masturbation scene, or long and thick and loving, ropey worms roaming and coming, their love in their throats a humming, hearts all quiet and serene. I imagine that it's beautiful, invertebrate love, as they twist and moan and flex their skin in semi-frantic rub. I can see them groan and shiver as they copulate with greed, watching them do their lovemaking, and I'm wishing it was me in erotic jamboree. As I gaze upon my friends dining on Cheez-Its and sperms, I cannot help but crying at the life of the young worms, for they, so soft and sticky, insides wet and moist and icky, they know not of how I envy to live just like a worm. Wrapped up in thick embrace, love and mucus there encased, that is how I want to live in the beauty of the worm. There you go, Cara. That one's for you, Cara.